Right, it's about that time. It's about that time. Looking kind of mediocre to start the day. RDHL is moving, but looks quite choppy. Probably just watch it for now. I do have a notepad this time. I'm going to be making some notes throughout the session. Just little notes of how hot the market is. Anything I pick up on. SX immediately sold off at 7. Good morning, Yusuf. Good morning, good morning. Looking like a somewhat slow day to start. We got RDHL, maybe SMX if you wanted to watch that. It's actually kind of okay on the multi-day. It's holding up a little bit. Right now, I'm probably going to be patient. These don't look like very promising moves at the moment. Especially after yesterday, I think it's really important to be more careful. Because the failure rate yesterday was abysmal. That's honestly, that's probably one of the worst days of the last 3 weeks. Appreciate the like right out of the gate. Yeah, we'll see if anything pops up on the scanners at 7, and we'll go from there. Because I don't really... I mean, that, and we'll watch, of course. We'll watch the 2 top gainers here. They're at least worth watching to see if they hold up or not. I don't think I'm going to trade them, though, without a significant change of the structure. I'm going to go ahead and clear out my quick little watch list here. Don't need these ones from yesterday. Okay, replace them with the new stocks for today. So this has some range, right? It's gone up maybe around 50-60%. So it definitely has some range, but it's been so choppy. Hopefully you guys survived yesterday's bloodbath. It was not fun. I was actually looking at some of my other peers who traded, and it seemed like no one really won. It was only small winners and big losers. Not too surprised. What does you look like? Okay, Hugh's kind of moving. It does have news, but this stock price is extremely high, and volume is actually not that high. So this is kind of like a medium stock, medium cap stock. Not really interested in it. Good morning to anyone coming in here. So concerning too is that our biggest mover doesn't appear to have live news. Now, I see here we have something for 11.4. So you could argue this was the news catalyst, but it's very strange that it would wait a whole day before resolving. So we're seeing a little bit of volume coming in here, CMBM. No news on it though. Or rather the news, if this is news, it was from yesterday. Not really even. This is just like summary stuff. Yeah, so there's no news on this one. Just random volume. This volume isn't even crazy high. I'll at least throw it on a watch list. I got room. See how it does. LBM. Okay, all right. So this one, yeah, we have 7 o'clock news. We do have some volume coming in. It was a little late though, right? The first 7 minutes, it just didn't really do anything. A little concerning that we see this light volume on the squeeze up and high volume here. This pattern has emerged several times where it ends up being a rug pull. Someone was slowly laddering it up and then they just dump. I've seen this a couple times, so I'm not super interested in getting in here. Definitely worth keeping an eye on, though. Yeah, and I mean, it just... What did it go from 118 to 108? This is sizable considering most of the volume was on this red candle. But at the same time, the volume isn't super high. Right, a green bar volume that is higher than this candle would justify this move. But I'm not the most confident that's going to happen. Especially with this context, we've seen this ladder up on light, non-existent volume. Okay, we got BW. So this one we had a spike, and now it had retested the highs, but it's given the entire thing back. No immediate news either. There was one at 6, but the price didn't really react well. It waited like an hour. Waited an hour, then popped 60 cents in 1 minute, and then gave the entire thing back. Looks very unclear or manipulated. All right, this just feels like manipulation. No catalyst at the 7. And then it just does a random pop and gives the whole thing back on 100,000. Feels very unclear and manipulated to me. I'll also keep an eye on it. But I don't know if I want to touch it here. Right, even if it does a 1 minute curl. Seeing it give the entire thing back just feels so risky to try and buy a 1 minute high. RDHL. Still on the pullback. It's kind of actually reassuring. This pullback, we had a high volume here. But the volume has dropped as it's come down. So that's a little bullish. but I'm not. I'm still like 130 is the real support in my eyes. You have some of that here. Yeah, I'm still not super convinced about this. This volume is lighter than the red candle's volume. Very light squeeze up. Heavy pressure selling down. Light volume squeezing up. Looks like a bull trap to me. Yeah, this looks very manipulated. $5 to 460. Probably what was like a minute. I think I'm still more bearish on this than not. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Yeah, there's no clear high volume mover right now. It's best just to be patient, I think. Curling. Yes, all these setups just kind of suck. This is like the best one, just as far as chart formation wise, but the volume in my eyes completely invalidates it. It's just none of them are really resolving right now or doing anything of interest. At this rate, it's probably going to be just me waiting till the half hour to see if anything new pops up. What does the level 2 look like for this stock? Just keeps kind of bouncing back and forth here. I was wondering if there might have been a spread. Certainly a different day than yesterday. Yesterday we were having lots of stocks popping and lots of flushes. Feels like today we're just not having any stocks popping. Okay, very large volume just went through here. Looks like it was mostly selling. Yeah. Okay, so we finally see a first flush of the day. So people might have been getting in here for the grind higher, for the next leg. Very high volume, 100,000. Yeah, highest volume. Even higher than these. DHL could be on the backside. This is basically the last point of return. If it's going to bounce. I feel like 130 is a critical level. Really needs to hold that. There's just nothing though. There's just nothing on the scanners. Shouldn't even be looking at stocks like this. This is just so far out of my criteria. I shouldn't even be looking at it. Okay, EW, we're getting a little bit of a flush. Moderate volume. Very curious if people saw this pop, and there might have been some newer traders who tried to get in here just because they saw price action. Because anyone who tried buying here has just been smoked. Good morning, sir. Good morning. It is a very cold morning. Nothing really moving from the looks of it. Had ELBM. This one's kind of died, though. We had RDHL. Currently still somewhat holding up. This 130 level appears to be holding for the time being. So this one could become back in play if we see it curl back up. Volume is okay. It's gotten quite lighter, though. I would argue maybe this is the best stock in play. It's still got a ways to go, though. Is it category or category? Okay, category. English. See, I already have 3 likes on the stream. Appreciate you guys that are finding value from this. I know it can be boring, but this is just the market we're in. It's just better not to engage if there's nothing to touch. The MBM keeps pinging my scanners for higher volume. And it's true, we've been seeing the volume coming in. It's been increasing over the last periods. But it just doesn't feel like it's enough for me. The volume's still somewhat light. There's no live catalyst. Just kind of makes me not interested. Now, if this volume was like minute candles of 200,000, I'd be more interested. Good morning, Hope and Fight. Well, I mean, I guess maybe I'll just say it's morning. Not really a good morning. Nothing's really moving. Just waiting for the half hour. See if anything comes up. All right, we got 1 minute till the half hour. Just holding tight. Yeah, I saw SMX. I didn't look at MTVA. I'll take a look at it real quick. I'm waiting. I didn't even see this one on my scanners. Okay, so yeah, it did have a pop earlier. My gap scanners didn't catch it because that was a while ago. I mean, even this, it's like, it's kind of just died out. Yeah, SMX, I haven't really trusted SMX for a while. I saw it on the scanners. I didn't really talk about this one at all, but this one, you can see it's just been kind of, it'll have these pops, but it just keeps immediately giving it back. Had a pop here, gave it all back instantly. Had a pop here, gave it all back instantly. So, and also you just look at the daily. This is clearly a death spiral stock. They just keep rug pulling into oblivion. So I haven't really wanted to touch this one. I didn't even bring it up on the scanners. Today you're red because you traded SMX in the early. Okay, so you traded it early. Lost 17 cents. So what, did you trade one of these first two pops, I'm guessing? I mean, the volume's there. If you were up this early, the volume was there. Was there news though? But there was no news, so like, I feel like in this specific market, really you need to be taking at least a B plus quality setup, just because it's just everything. I mean, you look at yesterday, everything was failing yesterday. I feel like you really have to be taking the best quality setups you can. So trading this without news, I personally don't really want to touch this one just because of the terrible daily setup and how much this stock has failed to resolve. But yeah, if you had a news catalyst and the volume's high, you could at least try it. But if you're not even getting a news catalyst on this, that feels rough. Got into two. Oh, so you got in right around the highs. Yeah. It sucks when you buy the top, man. Especially in this market. Like if you look at, since we're not having anything on the scanners, I could just show this real quick. So this was my results from yesterday, and 2 is my strategy for the backside. You can see I was trading almost exclusively the backside yesterday, just because everything was flushing. So I feel like trading the front side of the move, you should really only do it if you're extremely confident the price is going to move. At least that's what I think I would do. I need to actually update this for today. Okay, let's see if we have anything here. We got JYD. All right, so this one, we got some action here. Well, okay, so the volume is extremely light. Do we have... We do have news, but the volume is very light. This volume is very concerning. What is the float on this? Okay. Okay, so somewhere between 2 million and 14 million. So we'll just say 7 million float. Only getting 15,000 shares of volume is not a lot. Definitely worth watching because it has news and it is moving. But the extremely low volume is a red flag to me. You live to trade another day. I mean, that's what it's about. Yeah, you first trades yesterday and got burnt. Dude, yesterday was horrible, man. Honestly, the fact that I traded yesterday and I was even green is a miracle, I feel like. And it's really only because I traded the backside. Because if I was trading the front side of those moves, I would have got caught in those rug pulls for sure. Yeah, yesterday was brutal. It was very difficult. I would argue it might actually have one of the coldest days of the last 3 weeks. At least in terms of just raw rejection. And even this, like, the only stock I'm currently seeing on the scanners is this one. So I guess we'll watch it, but this low volume is very concerning to me. Let me read the catalyst. Oh, and it's a Chinese stock. No. Oh, man. We're just... Man, now I really don't want to touch it. I mean, to be fair, HKD was one of the only stocks that held up yesterday. And it was a Chinese stock. So I'll take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But no, I don't. Unless volume comes in or this gives an extremely clean setup, I'm probably not going to touch it. Yesterday was great VIX trading. Oh, okay, so you were trading the VIX? I mean, with the way the market's been cold for small caps, if you trade other sectors, that could be something worthwhile. I know the SPY has been acting crazy the last few weeks. I mean, you still have the government shutdown and whatnot, so there's that. Yeah, it's just the lack of volume completely invalidates this setup right now. Yeah, I remember I did trade VSEE yesterday too. It was the only stock I traded on the front side. Go ahead and go to 5 minute. So I did try trading this yesterday. I was looking for this curl. I sold half on this pop-up. And I was looking for a next leg. I was looking for like 140, 145. But then it gave it back. So I ended up just going break even on it. UVIX. What is that? Like, is that just like an ETF for the VIX? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this looks like a ETF for the VIX if I had to guess. It's kind of moving like the VIX. TPB, what does this one look like? Yeah, ETF VIX, yeah, kind of figured. This one's just way too pricey for me. SVIX is the inverse. Okay, that makes sense. Short VIX. I mean, why wouldn't you? I feel like maybe I'm stupid, but like, why wouldn't you just buy SVIX and hold it for the long term? Because the VIX goes down historically, so shouldn't this go up historically? I mean, I guess maybe, yeah, because like it trends up, but then you have like these collapses. So I guess you get punished harder if the VIX increases to kind of justify the person making the ETF, right? Because theoretically, if you just buy the inverse VIX and hold it forever, you eventually make money. Yeah, decay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Because, I mean, that'd just be a money printing machine otherwise. I gotcha. I gotcha. What the heck happened here? Just scaling into death. Oh yeah, this was a Chinese company, so probably... Man, I'm surprised I didn't hear about this. When was this? This was like April? I didn't know about this. Maybe the price wasn't this high. It was just like a reverse split over and over. Day swing only. I mean, you could... I know there were strategies people have made. I've seen it, where people try to make strategies to kind of get a delta. Like if there's an imbalance between volatility and the ETFs. I know some people try to take advantage of that. Right? Arbitrage, right? So you just look at where it's priced currently, what it should be priced at. And there are some people that can take advantage of that, right? You can use spreads. What are they called? Like the option spreads. I know some people do that. That's probably higher level stuff, though. You'd really, really have to know what you're doing. Hedges, yeah. To me, if I ever want to hedge something, just buy a put, right? You buy 100 shares of a stock, just buy a put if you're really that scared of it. Or if you're a long-term investor, I guess you could short a call, right? You could say, hey, I'm going to hold this for a year, so let me just short one call, 30% above my price. But you probably would only want to do that if you really believe in the stock. I appreciate all you guys here watching me ramble about options and the VIX. There's just really, I mean, yeah, we only had JYD, Chinese stock, very, very low volume. It's just, we're probably just waiting for the top of the hour to see if anything drops at this point. As far as top gainers today, we have SMX, and this one, I mean, it's coming back down. RDHL is still holding. I said 130s was the critical level, and it is still holding above 130. I'm not ruling this one out yet. This one still has opportunity to curl, I think. Right, we saw, as this was coming down, these two candles were particularly high volume, but all of this was on lower volume. So I haven't ruled out RDHL. I still actually think this is the best stock in play, even though it's not great. Yeah, I hope I have a green day. I just hope I don't have a big red day, right? To me, this is all about survival. Once the market heats up, then we can step on the gas and actually try to make some money. Main reason I'm here right now is just so I can read the market and see if we're in the cold market. ELBM is kind of curling a bit here. I'm not super interested because this volume on this grind up has been so light. Yeah, this is like actually a theme. I feel like a lot of these stocks today have been on lighter volume. This one was on a bit heavier volume. But that was like really early. EW. Kind of curling, but again, super light volume on this. I just never really trust anything that increases in value on extremely light volume. It just always seems to rug pull for whatever reason. Yeah, SMX continuing down. Looking like a sit back and chill kind of day. I mean, today wasn't even like super pump and dump. Like we had two that rugged. What was it? ELBM I would kind of call a rug because right, we had this candle on massive volume. I would call this one a rug. People might have been looking for a curl here. There was another one, EW. I would call this a rug too. You just have a pop and then it just flushes immediately. And it goes from like $5 down to $4.50. So I would call that a rug. Other than that, we haven't really seen a lot of rugs. Right, like RDHL, well, kinda, but this one was already volatile, so I wouldn't actually call this one a rug per se. This wasn't as bad as yesterday, and that could just be because there's less stocks moving, so there's less stocks that can rug. But it doesn't feel as violent. It's still not great. This is still probably a dangerous market to be going long without strong conviction. But it doesn't feel as violent as yesterday, just slower. At least that's my perspective. If you think different, that's fair. VV getting the rug ready. Let's take a look. All right, let's see it. I mean, it has great volume. It is a 36-cent stock, though. I mean, we'll see it. You called the rug. We'll see if this is the rug here. Let's see it drop down. I would call a rug maybe 34 cents. It's only a 3-cent drop, too. That's crazy. These penny stocks, I swear, it's so hard for... When I see a 30-cent stock, it's so hard for me to wrap around what a rug pull is. Because, like, to me, I'm just like, oh, yeah, a drop to here, that's a rug. And it's like 3 cents. I've seen some nasty rug pulls on pennies. Like, I've seen it go to where this is like 37. I've seen it go to like 28, 29 before. Generally avoid stocks. Yeah, I do too. I avoid stocks below $1. Not only do they move slower, but since I'm using commissions, it's really hard to overcome entropy on commissions when you are buying a stock and you're losing like half a cent per share. Right? Losing half a cent per share on a $7 stock, that's basically nothing. But losing half a cent per share on a 30-cent stock, that's actually a huge deal, right? That's like what? it's like a 1.5% loss immediately. And you basically have to be right just to have a small winner. It's not worth it. If you have size, 3 cents can ruin you. I mean, if you use leverage. Right, penny stocks tend to have a higher percentage move just because they're cheaper. So if you're gonna if you're gonna 4x leverage, yeah, that high percentage move plus the leverage can really hurt you. Right, 4x leverage into this penny stock and it drops from this down to 28 cents. You actually just lost all of your money. Right? 25% drop. The 25% move on a penny stock isn't unrealistic at all. So you could just completely blow the account. That's why I don't use leverage or margin. But yeah, we're probably just waiting for the top of the hour. I'm just seeing nothing. I mean, I'm still watching JYD on the side just because I'm curious about it. But the low volumes, there's nothing. Really looking like a no-trade day. SMX moving up a bit. I don't really know if I want to touch SMX. I mean, it's kind of moving up, but it's like, I just really don't want to touch this one at all. The lack of a catalyst combined with it just being this specific stock. I haven't gotten screwed by it, but it's done these very whiplashy moves that just make me not trust it. Like with VSEE, right? So like I told you I traded this one yesterday. And even though this one is a very low price stock, considering it made this massive move a week ago, that gave me a little more conviction to try and trust it. Like I will trust a stock more if it's shown historical moves in the last like week or two. Like even this one, right? This one popped up a few days ago and it immediately gave it back. So that actually is another red flag. ONDS has been whipping it open. No, yeah, 100%, Robert. No, I'm mostly here right now because, to be fair, I have seen it happen where the first hour is slow, the second hour you get a very strong headline, and you actually can get a move. I'm not really holding out hope for that. The main reason I'm here is, first of all, for documentation, because I'm trying to show the process, show every day. So if I'm not streaming certain days, I feel like that kind of ruins the credibility a bit. But also, I want to be here for when I see the shift. Because right now, I'm starting to do this too, where I'm documenting things in real time to see if I can actually identify when the shift's happening. Because, for example, right, last week I made a call out. I was saying that there was a possibility of a shift because we saw multiple penny stocks moving 300%. And I'm like, okay, all right, maybe the theme is going to be penny stocks. So I was starting to take a couple penny stocks and then it just cooled off. So it didn't end up working. But being ready to pounce for when the market gets hot is going to be important. And that's why I want to be here. Yeah, no, yeah. The habit of being here too, right? If you start taking breaks, maybe you'll start getting lazy and then you'll end up not coming whenever you should be coming. Okay, so this one's kind of moving, but... Okay, so this is weird. So this went up yesterday, but there was a... Oh, okay, so that's fair. So they announced they were closing a direct offering, and that's what caused the surge. This also had a pretty strong move a couple weeks ago. So this one's actually not crazy. It does have a somewhat recent catalyst, and it has a history of making moves. What is the shares? 15 million. Okay, and it says 2 million on Thinkorswim. This one's not terrible. I'll actually keep this one on watch. It actually has some good features to it. Yeah, I mean, 425 is probably a critical level to watch. We're seeing some volume come into similar to the volume that it was when it did this. No, this one's actually probably worth keeping an eye on. This doesn't look terrible. Yeah, that's one of the big problems, is the volume is a little bit low. It is increasing, which I like to see, but it's still kind of low. Right? If we see it get to 425 and then we start seeing, right, because we'll say that 40,000 is like the spikes we're seeing. If we see it start going to 100,000 a minute and we're like testing this 425 level, that to me, that actually is really interesting. That could be a real play. Is Chinese with a history of trapping buyers. I mean, you say that, I mean, I understand Chinese 100%. I get that. But this has made a very significant move. So I'm a little bit more lenient because of that. Wait for volume. Yeah, definitely. This needs... Either it needs more volume or it needs to hold this volume and give a very clean setup with 425. And then I might take one trade. But it's still got a little ways to go to get there. Also, we have 5 minutes till the top of the hour, so there could be another stock that comes in that steals the spotlight. Where have you been hiding? First time here. Like how you roll. No, I appreciate it. No, I just started this account, or not this account, this entire YouTube channel. I started it like around a month ago. So, yeah, I haven't been here really, so that's probably why you didn't see me. But yeah, I'm just trying to be here, do my thing, you know, try and give value where I can. It's been very hard. It's so unfortunate too. If you look at whenever I started this account challenge, I literally started it the day the cold market started. It was so frustrating. I was so angry, but that's just how it rolls. And at the very least, it'll be very educational, right? You can kind of see how I've been surviving, right? Because I'm like basically green to slightly above break even. And I'm thankful for that, because with the way the market's been, even just being break even is really the goal in my eyes. Yeah, Chinese stocks, they can make big round trips, but if you essentially trade price action, you should be safe. I generally agree. Okay, so we have VBIX 7:55, so we have live news on this. Okay, intends to acquire quantum computing technologies. Not the greatest catalyst. Volume's somewhat light, but it's not terrible. This doesn't feel like a strong catalyst, though. I think I'm just gonna wait for now. Okay, good volume coming in here on this pop. Okay, so it seems like it's chopping here. Probably not going to touch it for now. Cold market plus not the greatest looking catalyst. Not super optimistic. Daily chart, $5 is the clear resistance. $4 would probably be the next clear resistance. So we're like right around 4. See, I mean, if 4 holds, there's not really any clear resistance till 5. So there's definitely room. Volume is a bit light. If this catalyst was stronger, I'd be more interested. I might try and buy a breakdown if this overreacts, because this isn't like a death catalyst or anything. Good buy points would probably, I mean, 320 would be solid. Maybe, yeah, actually, maybe like 330. 330, 320 would be a good knife buy. I mean, we could do 340, but that might be too aggressive. Because this thing's been moving from 430 to 380. Yeah, I think 340 might be too aggressive. How long have I been trading? I mean, quote-unquote trading, if you include investing, maybe like 7 years. As far as day trading, I would say probably around 3 years. And if we're talking about me actually taking it serious and not just YOLOing and being an idiot, then maybe like 1.5, 2 years. Because I'm pretty sure all of us did stupid stuff when we first learned to trade, if I'm being honest. Yeah, volume is extremely important. Almost every trade I take has some weight attributed to volume. Like if you look at my charts, right, I don't have technical indicators. I'm mostly looking at volume and price action. Those are the two biggest ones. Actually, hold on, we might be getting something. Okay. I want to see 330s. Are we going to get that? It might just bounce here. Oh no, it's struggling at 350. Maybe I could have taken the 340 entry there because it went straight down and this volume was low. Yeah, that could have been a missed opportunity. But I told myself I wanted 330, so it's not crazy that I didn't take it. Yeah, I had my finger on the buy button. I was waiting for 330 to show up. What did I do to lock in? I just realized I was an idiot. Okay. Sorry if I keep stopping. This is close to back in play. I gotta watch this. If we see a breakdown, I'm looking at probably between 320, 330 for an entry. It's kind of just chopping here. We had high volume here, though. Actually, it might actually be more realistic to look for around 320 to 315 now. This volume was somewhat higher. Go ahead and I'll throw an order here, just in case it knifes down again. Okay, it's really testing 350 here. If 350 doesn't hold, you know there's people that bought here. They're probably getting stopped out. Maybe they capitulate and sell here. Do I have 3 monitors? I have 4 monitors. Quattro. Okay, 350 broke. Let's see how big it breaks, if it's just a small one. Okay. Light volume on this breakdown. I'm actually slightly more bullish on this now. I'm raising my entry. It might just be churning. Okay, XAIR. So we're seeing quite a bit of whiplash on this one. Secures up to 32 million. Yeah, thank you, Robert. Yeah, this one. Has good volume. Okay, low shares. This one looks stronger. There's a double topping tail, so maybe someone's selling here. Take a half size here. If we see a return to 230, maybe add. Yeah, it's pressuring the backside quite a bit. A little unclear to me. Because even though it has been popping down, these pop downs have been on lower volume. It doesn't look terribly bearish. The higher volume is what has me interested too, and this secured loan is much higher relative to the actual capital of the stock. I feel like this has opportunity. I might just hold the half size here. Let's see. Good volume coming in here. Yeah, the financing is really strong relative to the float. Really good volume, but I'm concerned that it rejected here again. Like there's someone holding this down. I don't really feel confident adding. I might just keep half size. If there is someone holding this down, this could just reverse here. If not, then I'll have half size going into the break. I'm targeting 240, by the way. That's my target. It keeps struggling at 230, but I feel like it's gonna break it. So we've tested 230 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. And technically this one sort of tested it as well. Okay, 230, we see another attempted break. Okay, do we see the push to 240? I put an order, didn't hit. Keep the order up. Okay, we hit. Nice base hit there. Yeah, tap 240. I tried placing an order at 239, but it didn't fail in the first test. Yeah, this looked like a strong setup. That's why I was willing to hold through the pullback. This is probably one of the better setups we've had today. I wanted to add, but because we're in this cold market and because we've seen this test 230 multiple times, I was really worried there was a hidden seller because we've been seeing that happen sometimes. The fact that I got in under 230 gave me a bit of a cushion. So I was willing to hold at 215 average and just try and go for 240. Nice little base hit there. I would have wanted to hold for maybe a return to high, but in this market, front side moves, I'm just not holding as long. Not looking for as much. It's like a B+ quality. There it went. I mean, it's kind of just grinding up. We haven't seen a clean, like volume's been increasing, but it's actually been kind of stair-stepping. It's not just going. If that makes sense. It has that meme feel. I mean, does it? I don't really know, like, beyond, so maybe. So you got a little bit of meme, you've got the lower float, you've got relative higher volume. So there's things here. This is probably the best quality setup of the day if I had to guess. Yeah, I look like such a coward, only going for like a 25-cent move when this thing has the potential to go like 70 cents. But I really just don't trust longer term holds. Yeah. There it is. I just don't feel this is a market you can trust for bigger frontside moves at the moment. I took what I thought was the safe, clean opportunity. Now me selling at 239 doesn't look so bad. I look smart. I mean, it's easy to say don't hold long when everything's dying after like 20 minutes. So, I mean, It's a lot easier to look smart too when the market's hot because you can just say, look at me. I can buy anything and it goes up, you know. But no, and there's times too, right? I'll be in a cold market. I'll take a very, very short play. Like, there's times I could have bought here and sold at 239 and then it goes up to high of day. That certainly happens. But I'm content saying, hey, I made a small profit in a cold market. This is worth watching it open? Yeah, definitely. This is definitely a stock if it holds up, right? I mean, if it goes all the way back down, it's just out of play. But like if it holds around here, this is very high volume. This is certainly worth keeping an eye on. Thank you, Quantix. It's so sad too, because in a hot market, I'll trade 15 times. And we're like 2/3 through the session and I've taken one trade. Like, I have to remind myself, because sometimes I get in this mentality of like, you guys are watching me. I want to provide value. So when I just sit here and don't trade, I feel FOMO to trade just to give value. And I have to remind myself that it's not about me taking trades. It's about me doing what the market demands. So if I only take 1 or 2 trades today, it is what it is. When I hit my target, I never feel... Yeah, no, yeah, and you should. You made a prediction and your target hit. You were right. I'm curious how this is going to respond. So we saw a massive spike down on high volume. This looks incredibly bearish because 230 was the critical level. So my worry in my head now is, was there a large seller here? They baited people into buying by letting up the selling pressure and then slammed it hard back below 230. So seeing how the price reacts around 230 is going to be important, I think. Because there's a lot of people long and short based off of this break. It's nice that it recovered it. So we'll see if this could be the start of another leg. I mean, this could be a fake out, right? Imagine this is people trying to get people to go short and bail the longs, and then they squeeze it. So that is a possibility. I haven't ruled that out. If it breaks 250, it's on. Yeah. If it breaks 250, it's on. Well, if it breaks 250 with high volume, I'll just add that. Right? If we see light volume, if it's staying around this light volume and it squeezes to 250, and then we see another massive high volume flush, then that looks more like manipulation to me. But yeah, on 250, if it's high volume, I would agree. You're in at 226. Good luck, man. Good luck. I'm not super bullish here. I wish you luck, though. Let's see, MNRO. Okay, this one's not really moving. Small entry. Yeah, I took half size. Like, and I'm wondering if my thesis was right, because when I bought in half size, I noticed that these breakdowns were on lower volume. And I was originally going to add, I was going to make it full size once we broke 230, but seeing how much it was hesitating to break 230, I was really worried about just a flush immediately. Yeah, I'm like neutral to slightly bearish just because this candle is so bearish. The volume recovering was high, but it wasn't crazy high. I don't know. I'm really not the biggest fan of going long here. It looks too unclear to me. There's definitely potential, though. I'm not saying it can't. It seems realistic that it could go up. I'm just not enough of a believer, I guess. We got 10 minutes till a half hour. CHR, I'll take a look at it. Ooh, okay, so I'm not going to touch this one. It's a penny stock, but yeah, this one's definitely moving if anyone likes penny stocks. Way too cheap for me. X moving, but no volume. We're squeezing back here. Volume did spike on these two candles too. I'm probably not going to touch it. I mean, if we break 250 and volume is going crazy, like we're seeing million volume candles, maybe I'll get involved again. But this candle is still just messing with me. It's making me very afraid. You're out at 236? Good stuff, man. What is that, 10 cents? Yeah, it's 10 cents. Good stuff. Yeah, take any win you can get in this kind of market. Even if I'm not going to get involved with this, I still want this to work out, because any stock that holds up is going to make people more optimistic about the next stocks. So hopefully this actually holds. Sorry, I had to play CHR. No, yeah. I mean, if you can play it and if you make money from it, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying with the way I'm trading with commissions, it's not statistically worth it for me to try penny stocks. It's still good for me to know too, right? For me to know CHR is doing this move is good. Gives me more context of the market, knowing that some penny stocks are moving. Penny stocks turn into dollars. I mean, sometimes, but they also sometimes go to zero. There's a reason they're penny stocks. Okay, we got 5 minutes till the half hour. Okay. Wow. Very impressive move, but it was on lighter volume and it immediately rejected. Okay, very interesting candle. Maybe a short squeeze? Just immediately breaking 250, making people go short? Or making shorts cover? What the heck? Okay, so we're seeing a repeat flush candle? Wow, this is emotional baggage right here. Oh man, this is brutal. So a repeat of this candle right? Where we saw this major flush down on high volume, another major flush down on high volume. It almost looks like someone intentionally pushed it up to make people go long and then immediately sold hard. Super low short float. Yeah, this looks... Ugh. It is tempting to want to buy here, but I just don't trust it. I mean, if we see it break down more, right? If we see like, maybe like 205, 206, it's diluting. I mean, they sold to 32 million, and we don't know the context of when they can sell. So it could be that person is immediately just selling. It's going to pop and drop all day. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I feel like with this second rug pull, because I would call this a rug pull, really. I feel someone is doing shady stuff, and now I don't want to be a part of this. Yep. We got 1 minute till the half hour anyway. We'll see if we get anything better on the scanners here. And the thing is, too, is like in a hotter market, you could actually probably tank some of these rug pulls just because everything goes up more. But whenever everything is barely going up, these rug pulls are way more dangerous, right? So that be how it is. So we're seeing a further breakdown. Okay, PFRX is popping though. Take a look at it. Let's see. So we have live news. Okay, so it looks like just a press release headline. They do have NVIDIA, so could be kind of a buzzword. Very low float though, and decent volume. This actually has chance of doing something. Struggling a bit at 128. I'm gonna take half size here. I kind of like this setup. That pop wasn't as good as I would have liked it to be. Okay, another attempt at 135. No, I'm gonna cut it. When it broke 135, it hesitated for a second. That was enough for me. A small winner, not too big. This still looks strong, right? This volume is extremely high for this stock, right? Only 1 million shares, 400,000 volume in a minute. This is still exceptionally high. Maybe I was slightly too reactive. Even though it was a great sell price, maybe I was slightly overreactive there. I've got a lot of filters on right now because of the cold market. Very high volume. We're still seeing super high volume. Like, this is very, very high. $30,000 share seller at 130. Yeah, I'm watching it. It was at 30,000. It was a 30,000 share seller at 130, then turned to a 150, or it turned into a 50,000 share seller at 128. And it looks like I moved to 127. But I don't know, the volume is so high, it's I feel like this is going to reject hard, or it's going to completely squeeze. This volume's too high for it to just be going sideways with this kind of float. I'm going to jump in here. Again, half size. Let's see if the sell-off was real or not. Okay, nice little scalp there. Another 11 cents. Very high volume on this too. Yeah, this one looks quite powerful. It feels like this thing wants to, like I said, this volume's way too high. This is gonna completely squeeze, or this thing's gonna flush hard. I got in here because I noticed the volume dropped quite significantly. I felt like it should have been higher if it was going to flush. That's why I took another stab at it here. Yeah, if it gets through 140, I wouldn't be surprised if we see high of day. Like, I think there's actually a pretty decent chance of it. The only thing is just in this cold market, I don't know if I want to give it that shot. I might just watch. But I think there's a decent chance of it. I will see. It's pressuring it very hard. Highest volume candle. How is it having like 1/3 of the entire shares outstanding and not moving? Even if there was a seller here, shouldn't it have gotten taken out? $40,000, 50,000 share seller at 35. 60,000. The sell-off was on lighter volume, at least the initial breakdown. This is actually even more diabolical too, because it broke this 139 resistance by 1 penny and then did this. And this is kind of why I didn't want to risk it. But I'll be honest, I actually really thought this was going to go if it broke. Like in a hot market, I would take this setup. Definitely. So rough. The volume's staying very elevated too on all of this. I don't know how much I trust this to hold. Looks like it might have been a fake out. Yeah, no, yeah, I was seeing the same thing. There is a chance that this could have been a fake out below 120. I don't think I want to take that risk, but I definitely see the vision. Again, it's only because the volume is so high relative to the shares outstanding. It just feels like it should be doing more. I don't think I trust it enough to try it, though. You can go ahead. I have documented my 2 trades here. I wanted to keep an eye on it because it was active. That was a strong setup. No, I'll actually give this an A. That was a particularly strong setup. All strategy 1 setups today, though. Very interesting compared to yesterday, where I was trading mostly backside. So we're seeing reduced volume now. I don't know. I might be about done for the day. We're 15 minutes till when I normally cut it. I'll keep an eye out just in case there's anything else, but I think I might be done with this, and I don't really see anything else in play right now. I'm really surprised this didn't move more, given how much volume there was. I'm just really kind of surprised by that. No, yeah, hopefully my assessment, my opinions can give some value. Oh man, and this actually did break. Yeah. No, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Like, stream every day. So if you guys like the stream and you want to see me, I'll be here tomorrow. Maybe subscribe if you found some kind of value from what I gave here. I know it's been slower. I only took 3 trades today. It's just that environment where I feel like I have to be patient. Had a couple opportunities with PRFX. I'm pretty happy with how I played them out. What was the other one I traded? XAIR. I'm happy with how I did this one too. I was actually, all 3 of these were half size, but I was wanting to average up, and every time I was getting close to averaging up, the stock didn't quite resolve cleanly. So I was only keeping half size for all of them, and then I was cutting the trades early. And it seems like that was the correct approach today. I appreciate it, BKM. Love it. See you tomorrow. Something fresh. I mean, I would really love if it could be more fresh with just actual moving stocks. So, because I mean, I know you guys appreciate me being here and assessing things, but I really wish I could just do more than taking a couple trades a day. But even if it's just something to talk, we can hang out. I like doing that too. It keeps it interesting, you know, because it gets really boring when you're sitting here for 2 hours and you take 3 trades. Okay, we got CYC, yeah. Okay, so this one's kind of moving on some volume. Keep an eye on it. So there was news at the 8:45 mark. So what does this look like? Secures $1.1 million data contract. Seems solid. Volume is slightly light, but the float's really low. At least on Thinkorswim, it's showing 2.8 million. I don't know. This volume might be a bit low. Actually, this catalyst isn't even new. This is the same thing. They just reprinted it at 8:45, so it's not even live. For whatever reason, once this one printed, we saw this spike. I'm a bit iffy if I want to touch this one or not. Also, the daily looks pretty terrible. There's probably a lot of people underwater right now. Volume is increasing. Volume's increasing a lot. Yeah, I don't know. With 7 minutes left, this looks like this could be a hammer candle. Or a topping tail candle, I mean, with super high volume. I think I should probably just avoid this one. Very, very high volume relative to all of this. The problem is I don't even know what setup I would take here. This candle just looks really bearish. And I can't really think of a bullish scenario that I would take in the next few minutes. Well, the only okay, there would be one. So if this continued to flush hard, but the volume dried up, That could be one thing. I will take over if you leave. We'll give up tomorrow. Update. Yeah, I don't think I want to touch this one anymore. Looks very unsafe after this large flush candle. Ooh. Yeah, this really just feels like someone is trying to dump. One other thing, I didn't recognize it till just now, but consider the fact that this move happened, this first leg, and it was on almost zero volume. The volume actually came in here after the 845 catalyst, and this could have actually been an entire trap setup. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it here. I don't really see any other stocks in play. I don't really like how this one's setting up. It feels very trappy. So I'm just going to take the 23 for the day, call it a win, be thankful that I'm up at least a little bit. We didn't really have any crazy moves today. We had PFRX. This one had attempted to curl. We had a lot of volume here. I'm actually so surprised how much this is sold off. But yeah, this one sold off. We also had XAIR. A very similar story. We had increasing volume. It looked like it was going to break. We saw this 230 level as critical resistance, but it didn't end up holding above it. We saw a rug pull twice, and now it's kind of on the backside. So yeah, we just didn't have any great opportunities today. There was no big movers. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. I'll put out my recap for the day later today, so if you're interested, you can check that out. And I will be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Hopefully we'll see a little more movement. But yeah, thank you everyone.